Y'all had to do something real fast. So, what's up, everybody? Come on in. 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 Hey, y'all. Okay, so I have an idea, or I want to do something, you guys. Okay. Um, to share your experience, please text me. Okay. So I have an idea. I want to start I want to give I want to give children of addicted loved ones a platform. Okay? So I have been seeing so many videos from children who have drug addicted parents. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Nicole. I am an addict in recovery. I've been sober for 7 years, and I actually lost custody of my son when I was in active addiction, and I fought and got him back within 1 year. I feel like I am being led to help people, children, not underage, because I can't do that, but if you're someone who's, 18, 19, 20 years old, and you would like to share what your experience was being the child of somebody who was addicted to drugs or alcohol, I would love to have you here on TikTok or on my YouTube channel. I'd never really I thought about it, but I never seen, as many videos as I have since I've joined TikTok of young people who are sharing how it made them feel when their parents were addicted to drugs. And I want to help, and I want to give you a platform to share your story if you are willing to do that. Now, of course, nobody has to do that. Please don't feel like I'm trying to pressure anybody, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to showcase people, kids who have gone through that. And I also want to hear your side of things. I share my side of being the addicted person, but what about my son's side? Now my son doesn't remember when I was in active addiction, but a lot of you guys do remember when your parents were in active addiction. So I would love for you to come share that with me. So if you guys are willing to do that, text me on my cell phone at 501 258 1833. Okay, and just a heads up, a forewarning, I will probably cry while you're telling me your story, but that's okay, because I feel like my higher power is telling me that I need to hear these stories. I need to listen to the children who have been affected by their parents being fucked up, you know? And so, yeah, I'm going to make a video and let people know that I am wanting to hear their stories. So, yeah, I also think it's really important to show, the other side of addiction. And, you know, our children are who are affected, 501 258 1833. That's my cell phone number. And you're probably going, Nicole, why are you giving your cell phone number out? Don't worry, everybody's got it already. A lot of people have it already, so that's why I'm giving it out. Um, I really, really think this is going to be something good, you guys. I'm super excited about it. Like, I'm really excited about it. Um, yeah, I'm really, really excited. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to feature some people on my YouTube channel who are going to be sharing their stories. So, yeah. I also want to feature parents of addicted people. So, for instance, I'm going to show y'all a video in just a second. I had a lady that I found yesterday, and she was actually talking about medication assisted treatment. And she was sticking up for those of us who are on MAT because her son passed away from a drug overdose 18 days ago. And she would give anything for her son to be here still. And so I want y'all to watch this video. Here we go. Hold on. All right, so let me turn the volume up. Oh, my son's headphones.
Really new to TikTok, like literally 1 week of experience. So I hope I do this right. But as you can tell by my page, 18 days ago, 18 days, my son left this earth.
Hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry. There we go. That's better.
I was compelled to talk about tough love when I was planning his funeral. And as I've been going through TikTok over this last week, I see a lot of people who are winning the fight against addiction. And in a lot of the videos, I'm seeing people who are having to explain to folks that the use of MAT, medically assisted treatment, is not the same as switching one drug for another. Let me tell y'all something. My son battled with opioid use for at least 10 years. 9 months of my son's life, I got to see him come back to life, get a job, not struggle with the demons in his head, go to meetings, help somebody else, live a sober life. And he did that while he was taking Suboxone. He did that while he was taking medication for the disease that treats what he had. The medicine that treats the disease he had. But you see, there were some folks that meant something to him, and then there's society, and then there's people in rooms of recovery that tell him because he's using Suboxone, it doesn't count. And he stopped using Suboxone. And 18 days ago, he left this earth. So if you think that medically assisted treatment is trading one for another, even if it is, I promise you, what I had when my son was taking Suboxone is way better than what I got when he didn't. Stop killing people with your own ignorant judgment.
So, it hits a little harder whenever, I've told people that happens. I've told people that, There's people within the 12-step fellowship who literally kick people when they're down, tell people that are struggling, who are obviously struggling. They got on medication assisted treatment because they had tried everything, and they tell them they're not sober, they're not in recovery, they can't share, they can't do this and that. And it's just, it hits different when a literal mom is telling you that her son died 18 days ago. Like, maybe if he was encouraged and uplifted and supported, he wouldn't have been going to get high, because he was shamed. And it's fucking hard enough, dude, to admit that you're on MAT. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I first started sharing about being on subs in 2016, people fucking made fun of me, dude. They made memes about me with fucking Suboxone orange pills with the 8 on them. Like, it was so fucking mortifying, dude. Mortifying. And so I just say to those people, like, you have a hand in fucking killing people. Like, you don't know how strong your words can hurt someone. That is why I don't go that's why I'm not in the 12-step programs anymore, because I just got out of there because it was just not aligning with my beliefs anymore. Like, I believe that there's many different ways to recovery. I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. And if, for instance, the other day I was on Facebook, and this guy came over and he commented on my Facebook. He said, in AA, you're not allowed to be in a relationship in your first year of recovery, right? And I said, that is not true. Like, it doesn't say that anywhere in the 12 steps or in the book. And it's that kind of shit, like going around and telling people that you can't be in a relationship, or you you need to talk to your sponsor every single day or else you'll die, or you have to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. Yeah, so some of that stuff might help people, but for some people it's not helpful, And so that's not true. You don't have to be tied down to the meetings for the rest of your life. You can get sober and you can move forward with your life. Did you know that? Like, I'm finally realizing that. I had been brainwashed for so long, you guys, that I was brainwashed to believe that once an addict, always an addict. And I'm never going to be able to get away from that. I don't believe that anymore. I believe that I was an addict and now I'm a person in recovery. I'm a recovering woman. Hey, Leah, what's up, girl? Hey, Jenny. Because carrying around that, like, it's a negative thing. It makes me feel like not good. And now I can stand up tall and I can say, I'm a woman in recovery. I'm recovering, So I think it's really important for us to start looking at things that we say and the practices that we practiced, because for some of us, it's not good. It's not healthy anymore, And so I just am so excited, y'all. I've been learning so many different things, different recovery pathways, and it makes me excited to learn more. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to help people in a different way, in all ways, not to where they feel like they are pressured and they have to, conform to some certain recovery meeting group, That's why that's why I talk about being on Suboxone. That is why I tell my story. That is why I share about it. You know why? Because there's so many people who are on MAT who have been made to feel inadequate, made to feel ashamed, who have been told they can't be a part of, and that's just not true anymore. And I'm telling you guys, hey, what's up, Ivan? If you are on TikTok and you're in TikTok recovery, you're really lucky. You're really lucky, because this platform is what opened my eyes to other pathways to recovery. Because I didn't used to believe in Cali Sober. I didn't used to support people that were on Kratom. I was on medication-assisted treatment, but I was closed-minded still and only believed in abstinence recovery. And so therefore, I didn't even believe in my own recovery. I didn't even support myself because I believed that there was only one way to recover, you know? TikTok saved me. Yeah, jumping spider. I love that name. I love little jumping spiders too. Coming here to TikTok changed my life. And I remember the first person that I ever saw talking about Cali sober was Amy. She's pregnant now. She's gonna have a little boy, but she has a whole yearly meeting where all the girls that are Cali sober, they have like a convention and they meet and they spend time together and it's amazing. And she's the first person that I thought, you know what? Maybe it does help people. Maybe you can take medical marijuana and still be in recovery. Because, see, I was just basing it off of what I did when I smoked. And I was like, I smoke weed and I pass the fuck out or eat a bunch of food. And so I learned really, really quickly all the different ways there is to recover from people here on online. And I'm so grateful I'm so grateful. Like, I love it now. Now I'm like, hell to the motherfucking yeah, you know? And don't get me wrong, when I say I didn't support it, like, I didn't go around telling people that they're not sober or they're not in recovery. Like, I've never been like that, you know? But I just had a big mouth and I would say things like, how can you be sober and do that, you know? And so now I truly 100% support it. And I actually had a girl reach out to me today and she said, "Hey, Nicole, I use medical marijuana to stay sober from meth. And I want to create, hey Missy, I want to create like a group or whatever, right?" And I was like, she goes, "Do you think that's okay?" And I messaged her back and I was like, that is amazing. Congratulations, dude. Methamphetamine is no fucking joke, man. Like, you do whatever you have to do to stay sober. And if that means taking medical marijuana, more power to you. You know? More power to you. It is it's a beneficial thing. It helps people. It's not a negative thing, you know? And so for some people, you know, they might not be into it and might not help them. But for some people, it really, really does. And I'm like, sure, you know, I'll help you get started. I'll help you make, I told her about TikTok and all of you guys here who are Cali sober. And I told her what hashtags to use and everything so she could find y'all. So it hurts when someone speaks on my recovery. Absolutely. So, Ivan, I saw your video yesterday responding back to that girl who was talking about, you know, being on MAT and it not being clean or whatever. Like, and I could feel you. I felt you, man, because I want you to know that I still, even though I've been sober for 7 years, it still punches me in my gut and knocks the air out of me when somebody has something to say about me being on Suboxone. It still makes me feel like I'm not taken seriously. Sorry, y'all. This face mask is peeling and I can feel it on my skin. It still knocks the breath out of me when somebody tries to basically, good job, Missy, I'm proud of you, girl. When somebody tries to say that my sobriety isn't valid. You know, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to invalidate my hard fucking work. You know, if I wasn't sober, do you think I'd be sitting here on fucking TikTok making recovery videos? I would have a needle hanging out of my arm and I would be fucking knotted out with a cigarette falling out of my mouth, leaving a burn hole in my covers. Okay? If I was high, I would be so fucked up on methamphetamine that I would be hallucinating, talking to people that aren't there. And my phone wouldn't be on TikTok. I'd be on the motherfucking police scanner. That's where I'd be at. Okay? And that's what people don't understand. People think that we just get on subs or methadone and it cures our addiction. Listen to this, Ivan. this girl wanted me, she said she got a comment from somebody and she wanted me to answer it. So listen to what the comment was. I secretly hate people on medication assisted treatment. I secretly hate people on medication assisted treatment. I'm jealous and I'm angry because they get to get high without any negative consequences. I knew it. I knew that's how most people feel who do not like MAT. They feel jealous and angry because they feel like we are getting high and they are not. That is how badly medication assisted treatment is still misunderstood. Like, literally, Suboxone has a ceiling effect. And literally, when you go to the methadone clinic, their job is to get you on a stable dose. And once you get on that stable dose, you just feel regular, you know? So it's like, and I have been working so hard to teach people about Suboxone and to share with them about, how it works for us and everything. Like, I will tell you, to get high on Suboxone, you have to divert your medication. You have to stop taking it for like 4 days and then reintroduce the medication into your system. That's the only way you can get a feeling from Suboxone. And then like people snort it, shoot it, and that, I don't even know what's happening when they do that, but I know that people do that, and that's not recovery either, Now I do believe in harm reduction. So let's say somebody was, shooting fentanyl and then they got on subs, but they were still struggling with the needle part. So they were shooting their subs. Like, I think that is a improvement, a step in the right direction, but now we got to get you just take your medication as prescribed. Do you know what I'm saying? And I would never shame anybody for doing that. I would try to help them to change their route of administration, So what is white knuckling? White knuckling it is where you are basically, you're staying sober on your, just by hanging on by a thread. So when you white knuckle something, you grab onto it and you're holding on for dear life. That's what white knuckling it is. So she's holding on to her sobriety for dear life. She's struggling. She needs support. She needs help. Well, you're not supposed to, Madison. It's supposed to be really horrible for your veins and can cause really bad abscesses, but people still do that. And that's what's so crazy about it. But that's what white knuckling it is. So if somebody came to me and they were like, Nicole, I'm white knuckling my sobriety, I would be like, oh shit, we got to get something going on for you. And so I would literally help them with a plan to get them some support, some relapse prevention. Oh crap, a sponsor. See what I'm saying? That's peeling. It's like, hold on, let me go wash this off. A sponsor, somebody to work with them and help them, or a mentor. You know what I mean? That's really, really freaking important whenever you are struggling, to have a support system. And I'm finding more and more support systems that are not just 12-step. And that makes me very happy, That makes me happy. I'm trying to find as many as I can. Wow, we've been going off today on Facebook, you guys. I was on there all day for 5 hours. We had a good time though. That's all that matters. As long as we were having a good time. I gotta wash this off my face. Well, here where I live, Ivan, I live in the Bible Belt, and so I was just talking earlier about harm reduction. And here, there's not any place like a needle exchange or anything like that, you know? How do I stay clean? Well, I have a whole slew of things that I do. So, number one, I'm on MAT. Number two, I do therapy. Number three, I have a mentor and a sponsor. Number four, I do online recovery meetings. Number five, I help people stay sober, so that helps me stay sober in return, you know? My friend was just recently stuck on blues, so I've been on recovery TikTok educating myself. Good job, girl. Yeah, so blues are, now they're fentanyl, but they were Roxycodone, and so that's an opiate. And, have you ever been on opiates before? Um, Getting off of them is challenging, because it's like we're afraid. So a lot of the reason why people struggle getting off opiates is because of the fear of withdrawal. Okay. And so by getting on MAT, it helps a lot because it helps with that withdrawal. I've been to NA and tried to get a sponsor. Oh, you got to walk right up to them, buddy. If you are wanting to go the AA route, you got to walk right up to them and say, hey, I like what you got to say. Can I get your phone number? Yeah. So the withdrawal is what makes us not want to, do anything. And so that's why MAT is so amazing and saves so many people's lives. Because here's the deal, okay? Like many of us, all of us have been through withdrawal, right? Even we've all been through it. So that's why we know that we don't want to go through it because it's going to suck. And so MAT is so amazing because it helps with that. And then we're able to get stabilized, we're able to get stabilized and we're able to get sober and change our lives. Now, staying on MAT, I believe, okay, for me, the reason why I have stayed on MAT, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that from all the drugs that I've used for all the years that I was on drugs, I believe that I have depleted my dopamine in my brain, okay? Which therefore makes me tired all the time, lethargic, no energy, just feel like shit, right? And so being on MAT helps me with that a lot. And I don't want to get off, and my little boy is still 8 years old, and then feel like shit and not be able to function, and then go out and relapse because I can't function and lose my child. So I believe, and listen, everybody's different, and some people have been able to, some people's brains, they have been able to heal and get back to the way it what used to be. But listen to me, it's 7 years down the line. 7 years, okay? 7 years. And the Suboxone just helps a little bit, okay? I still struggle with it. Hey, what's up, E-Love? Bad. And so I have, been, it's hard. It's hard. It's like, I can't explain it. It's like, I want to do stuff, but I just don't feel like it, She's only 17. Would it be a bad idea to suggest her to subs because my mom's on? So what I would do if I were you is I would reach out to her parents, because they can help her. They can take her to the doctor or to rehab. Because here's the thing: when somebody is underage like that, they have to have their parents' permission anyway. And so there are adolescent rehab centers, and so I do know some kids that are that young that are on MAT. Yes. Hey, Chris, I could not find it. So I think it's because I stream, I have Roku. So I was looking for that, the Narcos show, but I couldn't find it. So I'm going to look for it on YouTube too and see if I can find a bootleg version because I really, really want to watch it. Like, for real. Yeah, so do I. So, a lot of people that reach out to me, they have been trying to get sober for years. They've tried everything. And so that was my experience. Whenever I got on Suboxone, it was because I had been trying to get sober for the longest time and was not being able to do it. And after trying for so many years, then you start feeling like a failure, you know? And that's exactly what was happening to me. Like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Everybody else is doing it. And I felt horrible. Um, Now, if she's already detoxed and she's struggling, she might want to try Vivitrol first. Because Vivitrol it doesn't have an opiate in it, and it might work for her, especially with her being so young. It actually is supposed to block the effects of other opiates, and she could take that as a shot and not have to worry about, becoming dependent on anything. But it would totally be up to her and her parents. Yeah, so if you take medication for pain management and you take it as prescribed, absolutely you can be sober. Absolutely. There are many, many people who are sober in recovery who have to take medication to function in their daily lives. And that's totally fine. As long as you're taking your medication as prescribed, it's all about the intent behind it, okay? It's all about the intent. If your intentions are to get high on that drug, that's what you have to think about. If you're taking it because you need it for your pain, that's different. Her mom's not supportive at all. Oh my gosh, what are the best ways not to use the needle? Like, not to, what do you mean? So, Ace, listen to me, okay? If you struggled with addiction, but you're having pain, this is what you do. You get somebody that is in recovery or that you trust to give you the medication as prescribed. That's all. And you have a plan, okay? You have a plan like that, and you have a good support network of people that you could talk to if you are struggling. So that way you have a plan. That's all you got to do. Like, just because you are an addict doesn't mean you don't deserve proper pain treatment. Just because you did drugs doesn't mean that you should have to punish yourself and not get treatment for your fucking broken back. Like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy, dude. Oh, God. Yeah, so let me just tell you something, okay? Sure, it's not a good idea if you're just going to be popping them and trying to get high, right? But if you need it for pain and you're suffering and struggling and you can find someone you trust that can give them to you so you won't, relapse on them, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people in AA do that. Like, what they should be telling you is, your sponsor should tell you, as long as you have somebody hold them for you and give them to you as prescribed, and you keep contact with me every day, call me once a day, check in, you would just be fine. You take them as prescribed, and then after your back starts feeling better, you can discontinue them. So this is what gets people, to relapse. So listen. Okay, let's say you listen to your sponsor and you don't get the pain medication and you are hurting, you are struggling, your back is killing you. I mean, it's just out of control. And you go out and you relapse on fentanyl and you die. But you could have just taken your fucking prescription for hydrocodone and been just fine. But instead, you went to the streets because you were shamed out of getting a medication that was being prescribed to you. Okay? Sponsors are not supposed to give medical advice. Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. They're not doctors. They shouldn't be telling you whether or not to take medication. They shouldn't be telling you whether or not to take your mental health medication. And I promise you, your doctor is not going to give you a lot of opiates. They just don't anymore. They'll probably give you like a week's worth, you know? So Ace, that's up to you, babe. That's up to you. If you are not feeling, if you feel like you are not doing well there anymore, like there's other groups that are a lot more like open-minded and stuff. Like there's Mara, there's Refuge Recovery, there's Celebrate Recovery. There's all kinds of different spin-offs that are not AA, but just different recovery groups, you know? I just know that, like, I used to drink the Kool-Aid too and believe that I couldn't take pain medication and that if I did, I would relapse and die and all this stuff. And I'm here to tell you guys that none of that is true. Like, I have been able to do all the things I never thought I was going to be able to do. Yeah, so Ace, did you ever have a problem taking your opioids as prescribed? Were you an opiate addict? And here's the thing, like, you realize, like, you don't have to tell your sponsor what medication you're prescribed. You know, like, you don't have to tell them that. And if you're taking your medication as prescribed, it shouldn't affect it. Yeah, okay, so your DOC was cocaine and alcohol. Okay, so yeah, if you have pain medication and you have back pain and you take it as prescribed, you are in recovery. You are sober. It has nothing to do, first of all, in AA, everything that's outside of alcohol is an outside issue. So your sponsor is actually like not working the program correctly. Okay? First of all, he's not a doctor. Second of all, this is an outside issue that has nothing to do with alcohol. Okay? Like, for real, this is the problem with AA. People like that who become obsessive and they boss their sponsees around and they try to tell them what they can do with their life. Did you know a sponsor is strictly there to take you through the 12 steps? They are not supposed to tell you how to live your life. You're supposed to walk through the 12 steps with them. They're not supposed to tell you whether you can have a girlfriend. They're not supposed to tell you what job you work. They're simply there to take you through the steps. That's what it tells you in the book. The AA is the big book. Whatever is in between that blue hardcover, that in the middle is the program. All this other stuff that your sponsor is making up is not true. It's things that they have made up throughout the fellowship to control other addicts, because that's what this is all about, control. So as long as you're taking them as prescribed and you're not all fucked up, then how long after stopping? Of course. After you stop taking pain meds, if you're prescribed regular pain medication, listen, it cannot be fentanyl off the street. As long as it's prescribed pain medication, what you need to do is you need to Google clinical opiate withdrawal scale, and it'll come up on a PDF. You answer the questions, right? Yes, I do, Ace, I do. You answer the questions, and as long as you score a 12 on that, you can take your pain meds. Normally, regular pain medication is 24 hours from the time you last took your last pain med. Now, since fentanyl and all this other stuff has come around, it stays on the receptors. It's sticky. This fentanyl, it stays in the fat cells. And so it's a lot different. And so when somebody's on fentanyl, their score has to be a 14 or higher because I know, because just so y'all know, I work at a Suboxone clinic. I work for Dr. B. And so that's how Dr. B does it. He'll have you answer the questions on that clinical opiate withdrawal scale. Clinical opiate withdrawal scale. Okay? Answer those questions. If you're on regular pain meds, you need to score a 12. If you're on fentanyl, it needs to be a 14 or higher. Okay? can't you can get subs for pain management too? Yeah, you can. How do you deal with people who judge your recovery? Well, everybody judges my recovery, honey. I mean, because I have a platform, you know what I'm saying? And so I get judged a lot. I've honestly just got used to it. You know what I mean? It used to bother me a little bit, and I would get really mad. But I've gotten so much better about that. And here's the way I think about it. This is what I say. If the person who's judging you, I want you to ask yourself this. If you die from an overdose tomorrow, will they be at your funeral? And if the answer is no, fuck them. Fuck them. Okay? If you die tomorrow, will they be at your funeral? And if the answer is no, fuck them. Because it'll probably 9 times out of 10 the answer will be no. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how motherfuckers are, you know? So I hope that helps a little bit. I love y'all so much. I love making y'all laugh and stuff. But it's true. It's true. Like, why are we going to put so much stock in, what other people think if they aren't even people who we would, see or associate outside of that? Thank you, Cassandra. You guys, I'm freaking out right now because my YouTube channel, I posted a video of this a children that has a drug addicted a video about children and addiction, and it's going crazy over on YouTube. So I am trying to post other videos because what I have found on YouTube is that there is a huge population of children who are children of addicts who are watching my content. And so, like, I've got over 100,000 views. Thank you, on this video, and it's literally it's a girl sharing about her parents being addicted. So, like, that's a miracle that I can't believe. That's why that's another reason why I want those of you guys you have loved ones, you are the child of an addict. I want you to come tell your story because there are kids. Y'all should see it. I'm reading their comments and they're literally saying, my mom is addicted to drugs. My mom's an alcoholic. My dad's an alcoholic. And so I need to make videos for these kids. Okay. Like, they need our help. They need to have support. And so, it's a lot. There's a lot of comments, dude. It's crazy. Okay. Oh, I'm like literally about to change this comment. Okay. It's crazy, y'all. Thank you. Okay. If you are the child of an addicted parent, you can call me here. I feel so bad for them, y'all. Like, this is crazy. Ah, mercy. Okay, so I changed it so they could actually reach out to me because these kids are commenting, look, guys, I don't have Facebook, or I lost my dad about a month ago, so I understand. I don't know if this counts, but both of my parents are addicted to cigarettes, and it gets annoying to have the smell of them around the house. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. There's literally tears in my eyes. My mom was an alcoholic. She tried to get help, but because of our family situation with my dad, she couldn't because she didn't want to lose me, and she passed away. Fly high, Mama. This actually made me cry. I can't say I can relate, but this is so sad to watch. Like, you have got to see it. There's thousands of comments, you guys. Thousands, thousands. I wish I would have known that there were people willing to support me when I was 7 years old. My mom had abusive parents and became an alcoholic. She tried to quit on her own, but she couldn't. She needed help. She went to a rehab-like place to help with depression and anxiety and to help with her alcohol problem. I always thought it was my fault and I wanted to take my life because of it when I was 12. So glad to say she's so much better now. I'm so proud of her, and I'm now, unfortunately, on medication for anxiety and ADD. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry, y'all. These are little kids, you know, young kids. Same exact story, just different person. No one is alone in this. We all have to be here for each other. I'm not the child of an alcoholic, but some people I know have parents like that. I'm sorry you're going through this, and thank you for sharing and being honest about it. My dad is an addict too. I'm only 13. I shouldn't be going through this because I feel like I'm losing him every minute that passes. He used to respond super fast when I text him. He never answers back. Only 5 hours later, it hurts knowing one day he will overdose if he doesn't get help. I need prayers for this. This is tough for me. I lost my dad to drugs about a month ago, and we were taken into foster system about 2 years ago. I haven't seen him in a long time, and it was still sad even though I had resentment towards him. I still loved him very much, and now I'm about to get adopted because my mom is an addict and hasn't tried to get better for 2 years. And when my dad was alive, he put in some effort to get me and my siblings back. What is even more sad is me and my siblings were separated, and we are all getting adopted separately. Both of my dads were addicts, and now I don't have a dad. I understand my dad did drugs my whole life, and he's recovering now, but I understand and it's extremely hard to deal with. My mom used to be an alcoholic and a drug addict for a long while when I was a kid. That being said, I'm so glad she's been able to make a full recovery and is currently 11 years sober. It's tough sometimes they don't recover. What matters is living the best life you possibly can. I lost both my mom and my stepdad to drugs. They were never abusive or insane or anything. You wouldn't have known they were on drugs. I didn't find out until both had passed. My dad went to jail for drinking and driving when I was 1. My parents split up shortly after when I was 7. My dad had another kid with a different woman about a year after they were together. She told him that if he wanted to see my brother, he couldn't drink at her house or when he's with my brother, but he kept drinking. So they broke up for about 4 years. Broke up. About 4 years later, my dad gets married to a lady I met once. They were engaged 6 months later. They divorced because of his drinking. Now he lives with my grandpa, and I haven't seen him in 2 months. I try my best not to visit him because of how I feel when I'm around him. The feeling of him still alive and present, but somehow dead for some reason. I went through the same exact thing. Mine died when I was 9, and I was the one who found him. He was my best friend. He still is. He's just in heaven. I know, girl. Like, that's why I want to have people on who are kids of addicts because, like, I need to hear this. You know what I mean? I need to hear this. My dad was an alcoholic. He left, though. I'm supposed to still be able to see him, but he asked not to see me and only to see my brother. So I kind of lost him, too. I'm a different way, I guess. I can't believe how many young kids are watching my fucking YouTube channel, y'all. Like, this is crazy. I lost my dad to drugs, and drugs made him do bad things and go to jail, and my mom won't let us visit him anymore. But secretly I miss him a lot. But seeing someone else go through this too, I am sorry because I know what it feels like. I am a child of both, and it's not nearly as bad. As bad. He is now much better and hasn't touched any of that in 9 months. He never did anything extreme, but he did get into some physical fights with his father and brother-in-law, and he had to leave out of our house for about 6 months. But I'm so glad he is back and doing good. I'm sorry about your dad, and I hope you're okay. God bless your soul. My dad was an alcoholic, but when he had my older sister, he stopped. And to this day, if you were to give him a beer, he would take one sip and puke because he doesn't like it anymore. That's awesome. I lost my dad due to liver failure. In the beginning of 2021, my uncle died to an overdose, and my dad almost did too. Then, in April this year, my dad got arrested for drunk driving. Today is his birthday, and I'm going to see him, but my mom has to go with us because we were in the car when he crashed into a parked truck when backing out of our driveway. So he was also charged with child endangerment. My mom is an alcoholic, and when she gets drunk, she always insults me and my weight and how I'm such a disappointment. I hate it because he can disappear for a day or two when he's free from work, but when he needs to go back to work, he acts as if it's normal, and it's not. I'm so sorry my dad did drugs and just got done with it like 8 months ago. He drinks now and has been to jail many times, done things to my mom. My mom can't handle it. She's single and it's just hard. And I have 2 siblings and he don't help my mom at all. I'm sorry for your loss, but I lost my dad at 9 months old over an overdose of drugs. I'm very sorry and I know how you feel, but I was so young I didn't get to see my dad or see what he looked like. All I know is that I seen him in pictures and videos and stuff. I've never seen him in actual person, so I'm really sorry for your loss, and I hope you are to mine too. And have a nice day, and I'm very sorry for your loss. That's a little kid. That's a little kid. When I was born, my mom left me for drugs. Came back, I was like 5 in kindergarten. I thought I did not have a mom. I would tell kids that I don't have one. Hey, thanks, Jumping Spider. I appreciate you subscribing. There's so many comments, you guys. I don't even know. There's so many comments. And I just feel like I need to at least answer all the ones that are saying that their parents are addicted, you know? My dad is an alcoholic. Him and my mom would get into fights all the time. Whenever they did, my mom would send us, me and my sisters, to our room and play music so we didn't hear the screams. One day they had finished fighting, and a couple days before, my dad had packed a bag, but he left it in the closet. When they finished fighting, I asked my mom where he went, and still sort of crying, she said he just went to our grandma's house for a bit. I immediately ran to the closet and checked if the bag was there. It wasn't. I walked back to my mom and cried the rest of the night. I understood what was happening. My father did drugs for a long time and had gotten arrested a lot, but he went to a CAT program and got better. Now I get to see him, and I have a new stepmom and baby brother. Oh, that's awesome. But do you see, like, this is what our addictions do. Our addictions affect our children so badly, you know, and it just makes me, oh, I love you, Jumping Spider. Thank you so much. I feel so guilty. I feel so horrible because I'll never be able to make it up to my son. I'll never be able to change that, you know? And I know he was young and he doesn't remember, but I remember. I know what I did, you know? My dad is an alcoholic, and I don't know what to do because he is just an absolute mess. And me and my mom don't know what he's going to come home like, and it's so scary to me and my friends and family. I don't even want to call him dad. I want to call him stranger. Me and my mom have told him to go to rehab, but he keeps putting it off. So if I could get support, that would be awesome. And I don't know how to tell him that I am gone, and I don't want him to call me daughter. I don't love him anymore, and I wish I still loved him the way I used to, but I just can't. My dad is named Christopher too, and he did drugs, and I have no idea what has happened to him. He got my mom, and my daughter's mother was spared. 6 years sober. Oh, that's good. My dad did drugs for like more than 5 years, and I think if he did it again, he might get sick, and again he might die. I rarely ever see my dad. Every time I do, it gets worse. He is a huge alcoholic and can't stop. We've been convincing him to stop. It hasn't worked. And when I was little, he tried to choke my mom to death right in front of me and my sisters eyes. She left him and called the police, but we had already drove to my relative's house by the time they got there, and they said they couldn't get in later. We found out he had passed out in the bathroom and didn't hear the door, and he denies the whole thing. And I'm like, dude, I was literally there, and I don't know what to do. He also started dating an insane lady a few years ago, and I'm scared for him every day. They get into fights. He also started vaping, so that's a new problem. He also chased my mom's car once when she was dropping us off because we used to stay there 3 nights a week. Now we don't even stay one. And he said, I'm not drunk. My half-sister, he is not the father, started crying, and we had to call the cops for an alcohol check. And there are so many more stories, I can't even type them all. Damn, dude. Like, these are little kids, you guys. Little kids. Okay? I want you to imagine your child on YouTube commenting on my videos. And like, I'm 12, and while I was camping, I got a call from a random lady from my dad's phone. Hey, I have my dad's name, Posto, in my in the back of my car, and I saw that you were the last person he called. So are you anywhere close by? I was with my friends, and I almost broke downstairs because he told me a while ago he had stopped drinking, but he didn't apparently. So yeah. Damn, dude. Okay, I'm gonna keep crying if I don't get off here, y'all. Okay, so for those of you guys that are new to my channel, I want to tell you guys where I'll be live tomorrow because I'm gonna go lay down because I got to take my little boy to school in the morning. I know, right? Makes me so sad. I put my number on there for them to text me if they wanted to. I will be live tomorrow night. I go live over on my Facebook page at 3:45 Central Standard Time, and then I finish up around 6 or 7 over there, and then I'll come over here. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, here is my Facebook name. It is Nikki Pludre, okay? Just go follow me on Facebook, and you can come to that live stream too, if you want to, of course. But I love you guys, and I really appreciate y'all's support. Jumping Spider, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate your support. I always appreciate it, no matter what. Even if you don't subscribe, but when you do, that's really cool too. And ways you can support me that you don't have to pay is just subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch a couple of my videos. It really helps me out a lot because I'm monetized on my YouTube channel. Okay, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow on Facebook, 3:45 Central Standard Time, and it's Friday, so we're going to have a fun time. Tomorrow we're going to do something special, okay, for Freaky Friday. So tomorrow night's Friday. I'll try to have somebody like come tell their story or something, so that way we'll have entertainment. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Jumping Spider. And then yeah, if you guys are children of somebody that's addicted, even if the person is in recovery and you want to come share like how your mom and dad's addiction affected your life, please message me. I would love to have you on to tell your story. All right. Good night, you guys. I love y'all.